Well, a very good afternoon to everybody who's joining us now on a live interaction with Mr. SP Udhayakumar. He is best known as one of the faces of the anti-nuclear protests of at Kudangulam in Tamil Nadu. And this was back in 2010-11 when Jayalalitha was the chief minister of the state. Very exciting and adventurous life he seems to have led, because he also contested subsequently as a candidate for the Aam Aadmi Party in the subsequent Lok Sabha elections. So Mr. SP Udhayakumar is joining us now, but before we bring him on board, I'm just going to play a short clip of a pretty controversial speech he has made in the Chanakya event, which was hosted by Mr. Rangaraj Pandey. So just listen to what he said. It's a short 2-minute clip speech that he has made. So I'm just going to play that right now. Have a look at that, and then we'll come back and ask Mr. Udhayakumar a few questions.
9 ஆண்டு காலம் அற்புதமான ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைத்தும் இந்த நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு எந்த விதமான சாதனையும் செய்ய முடியாமல் ஒரு படுதோல்வி அடைந்த அரசு விலைவாசி விண்ணை முட்டிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. வேலையின்றி இளைஞர்களெல்லாம் துவண்டு கிடக்கிறார்கள். பண மதிப்பிழப்பு, பொதுத்துறைகளெல்லாம் திட்டமிட்டு அழிப்பு. ஒரு சில முதலாளிகள் மட்டும் இன்றைக்கு ஓங்கி வளர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். நாடு முழுக்க மக்கள் துன்பப்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். எங்களுடைய சாதனை என்று எடுத்துச் சொல்வதற்கு எதுவுமே இல்லாத நிலையில் அடுத்த தேர்தலில் வென்றாக வேண்டும். RSS-னுடைய நூற்றாண்டு கொண்டாட்டம் வருகிறது. 2025ஆம் ஆண்டு புதிய அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தை, அதில் பாராட்டுறது என்னன்னு தெரியல, புதிய அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தை கொண்டு வரப்போகிறோம். இந்தியாவினுடைய தலைநகரத்தை வாரணாசிக்கு மாற்றப் போகிறோம். சிறுபான்மையினரெல்லாம் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சியாக இந்த நாட்டிலே வாழ முடியும், ஆனால் இரண்டாந்தர குடிமக்களாகத்தான் இருக்க முடியும் என்றெல்லாம் கொக்கரித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த கூட்டம்.
அப்படி யார் சொன்னா? சொல்வது சிறுபான்மை மக்கள் இரண்டாம் தர குடிமக்களாக தான் வாழ முடியும் யார் சொன்னா?
உதயகுமாருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பொறுப்பு வந்ததுன்னா அத்தனை பேரையும் சமமாகத்தான் நடத்துவார். ஏற்றத்தாழ்வுகளோடு
யார் சொன்னான்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறேன்.
உங்களுக்கு இந்த தகவல் தெரியாமல் இருப்பது உண்மையிலேயே எனக்கு ஆச்சரியமாக இருக்கு.
ஒரு சின்ன
நாட்டில் உள்ள 900 பக்கம் கொண்ட அரசியல் அமைப்பு சட்டத்தை எழுதி கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். 300 பக்கங்கள் எழுதி முடித்து விட்டோம். வாரணாசிக்கு இந்தியாவினுடைய தலைநகரை மாற்றுவோம் என்று சொன்னது உங்களுக்கு தெரியாதா?
நான் கேட்டது முஸ்லிம்களை இரண்டாம் தர குடிமக்களாக ஆக்குவோம் சொன்னது யாருங்க?
முஸ்லிம்களை மட்டுமல்ல, கிறிஸ்தவர்களையும் சேர்த்து. இந்து பத்திரிகை, ஆங்கில இந்து பத்திரிகையில் எனக்கு வந்த நான் படித்த செய்தி, நாளை காலை நான் தோழர் அவருக்கு பாண்டைக்கு அனுப்பி கொடுக்கிறேன்.
ஃபேக் நியூஸ்.
Okay, so a very colorful interaction that has taken place. I'm going to bring the man of the moment on, Mr. SP Udhayakumar of Pachai Tamilagam Katchi. Now, Mr. Udhayakumar, welcome. I'm very happy that you're here joining us today. And
thank you, Sandhya.
So do you have that article that you were talking about the Hindu article that you were quoting?
Yeah, it's not an article, it's a news item.
Okay.
And I do have the clipping with me.
Do you have it? If you can share it?
I don't have it right here, but I can dig it up for you. Yes.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna wait to hear from you on that, because a lot of people have been asking, okay, where is what are you referring to? You've made a number of interesting points in your talk at the Chanakya event. You said that unity is different from uniformity. You have spoken about Savarkar, and of course, I think Mr. Pandey picks you up on that one point where you have spoken about Savarkar saying, "Oops, I think we have lost Mr. Udhayakumar." Let's wait for him to come back. There seems to be probably an issue with his internet connection. He's likely to come back. But yeah, I mean, speaking about what Mr. SP Udhayakumar has been saying in that speech in the event posted by Mr. Rangaraj Pandey. He said unity is different from uniformity. That was one of the points that he was making. The other point he was talking about was about Veer Savarkar. He had, he quoted Veer Savarkar as saying, "One God, one country, one goal, one caste, one life, one language." But as Mr. Pandey corrected him, Uday Kumar missed out the one caste aspect of what Savarkar said. So I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask Mr. Uday Kumar when he comes back online whether why he missed that out. Was that a mistake or was it setting a narrative in a sense? So all these questions are going to be asked to Mr. Uday Kumar. I'm just hoping that he comes back online. Let me just check with him. Okay, let's wait for him to come back. There he is.
Cut off.
Hi, Mr. Uday. Can you hear me now?
Hi. I received a phone call and I got cut off. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, you had, the question I was going to ask you was about the quote of Veer Savarkar, which you had mentioned in your speech. You had left out a specific term which Rangaraj Pandey also asked you about. One caste, Ore Jadi, Ore Inam. And I wanted to ask you, because this is a question that a lot of people are asking, like, were you setting a narrative deliberately by dropping the one caste term, or
No.
is that something?
No, Savarkar never thought about forming a one caste. That jati means only race. Ek desh, ek dev, ek bhasha, ek jati, ek asha, ek something else. And the jati there does not mean caste; it means race.
No, but jati across the board means caste. Even in Tamil, jati means caste. It doesn't mean race.
The English translation of that phrase that I come across is ek one race. He believed in one race. He was a strong supporter of Sanatana Dharma, and he never was for equalizing all the different castes. He wanted to keep up this Brahmanical state of affairs, this Brahmanical arrangement. He was a staunch believer in that. So he was not for uplifting all the downtrodden and all the so-called Shudra caste to the Brahmanical status. So that's a wrong perception of you.
Actually, it's actually the other way around from what history tells us, from what his writings tell us, that he's actually not for the caste system in that sense. He was all for eradication of caste. In fact, that's where he and Babasaheb Ambedkar actually agreed, and they reached out to each other and they had corresponded as well.
Well, I have read so much about Vinayak Damodar Savarkar Sandhya, and when he was the president of the All India Hindu Mahasabha, he was talking about defending the Sanatana Dharma, and he was assuring the upper caste people that the caste hierarchy would never be challenged or questioned. There are enough and more writings. I did my PhD on this subject, and I know what I'm talking about. And Savarkar was not for the abolition of caste system.
Okay, so that is again all right. Let's put that aside for now, because I think there are very many different. This is a very different misinterpretation of Savarkar. Actually, going by
No, I don't. No. Please don't try to question my scholarship. This is not a misinterpretation or wrong interpretation of Savarkar. Anybody who knows, who has a modicum of knowledge about this man's Brahmanical standpoint would know that he was not for the abolition of caste system. He was not for equalizing all the different peoples of India. He was a casteist. He was a Brahmin supremacist. That's very clear. We can have a whole session on that.
All right. Now, let me come to the set of questions that there are a lot of questions that the viewers have for you, that the audience has for you. So I'm going to, I'll request you to keep your answers short if possible, because there are a lot of questions and, we don't want to really drag this on for more than like 40 minutes or so. if that's okay with you. The first
Sure, of
question
course.
actually is not on this was not sent on any of the social media platforms. This was sent to me by someone known to me, and they wanted me to ask you this question. So I'm going to show you this first. Oops, there we go. So I don't know if you're able to see this very well.
I can't read it though.
Okay. All right. So basically, this is the Nam Vaalvu Veliyide.
Hmm.
Nam Vaalvu. This is the Tamil Nadu bishops. This thing, right? It's a collection of political editorials from the Tamil Nadu Bishops Council's official magazine. Correct?
Right.
So you are one of the prominent writers for that. You've in fact written a number of time for that particular magazine. Now, considering that you were part of the Kodungalam anti-nuclear protests, a lot of questions have come up about your relationship with the Catholic Church or any kind of church, actually, not just the Catholic Church. So there is one viewer who has asked, what is your relationship with the Catholic Church or any other church?
I am not a Christian by birth or by conversion or by conviction. I have nothing to do with any church or mosque or temple or gurdwara or any other religious institution or organization. I do not believe in God. I do not give a damn about God. I do not subscribe to any of these religions. But I work with all different people across the country. And when the Kudangalam struggle started, obviously it happened in a 95% Catholic village. So we had to stay in that Catholic priest's house, interacted with the Catholic people, and that is the only connection I have ever had.
Okay. So, okay, fair enough. What is your source of income is another question that has been repeatedly brought up. You've obviously been investigated by the center as well for, whether you have received money from abroad, from church abroad. What is your source of income is one question that a lot of viewers are asking.
My personal income, you mean, or for the struggle?
Both.
Okay. Well, my personal income comes from my land. I am a farmer and I grow coconut trees, banana trees, and other stuff on my land, and I get a small income. I used to teach at the foreign universities in the United States and Europe. I am an expert on conflict transformation, future studies, reconciliation, and things of that sort. So I was a much sought after professor, visiting professor, and that helped me make my money. But ever since the struggle, my passport has been impounded. So I am learning to live with my meager income from agriculture. Now, as far as the struggle was concerned, we did not receive any money from any NGO, either Indian or foreign. Both the Congress government and the BJP government have been investigating so deeply and thoroughly, and they haven't come up with one piece of paper that shows us the evidence of our receiving any money from anywhere. The funding for the struggle came from the ordinary people, mostly from the fisher people. They contributed 10% of their fish catch, and with that small amount of money, we were doing the struggle. The struggle was non-violent, hunger strike most of the time, and we were not having a feast or celebrations or anything like that. We had a small pandal which cost us only once, and then we were eating very ordinary food and water. We were not giving biryani to everybody who came us. We were not giving them alcohol. We were not transporting people by buses to distant places. It was a typical Gandhian struggle. We needed very little money. People contributed, and I've been repeating this for the past 12 years. And all the ED and all the IB and all the different central organizations, institutions have verified. If I had received any money from anyone on the earth, they would have put me behind bars by now.
That's the next question, actually. those who fought with you, this is a question that a number of viewers have tweeted out. Tennagam, Meera Ravikumar, Prasanna Iyer, Ramalingam Balaji, all of these people have the same question to you. While 18 people were convicted, three persons, SP Udhayakumar, Pushparayan, and MP Jaisraj, who were actually the coordinators of the protest, they were acquitted. So, a viewer called Muthu wants me to ask you, on his behalf, how the coordinators, got out of this, and if they were not convicted, while the others were, while 18 others were.
I thank them for asking this question because a lot of people have asked me personally, and here also there some sections of the press have reported along those lines. Okay, when the struggle was going on, more than 340 cases were registered on us, and most of the petitioners were the village officer or the local police officer or some revenue official and things, I mean, people like that. Then some private complaints were also filed against us, and mostly by the instigation of the government. For example, one local Kudankulam police inspector took a man, offered him lunch, and then asked him to file a petition against us. And that man came and told us, look, this is what happened, and I have nothing against you, so he refused to do that. So private complaints were also foisted on us, and all the private squabbles, the private quarrels between individuals or between groups were also twisted and foisted on us. This is one instance. So two groups clashed with each other, and they engaged in a violent activity. It was reported, or one of the two groups went to the police, and the local inspector then found a great opportunity in this. So he wrote a kind of a screenplay by saying that one group demanded money for the struggle, the other group refused to pay. So these guys attacked them on the instigation of me, Pushparayan, and Maipa Jaisraj. We had supposedly or allegedly asked them to go and attack them because they did not give money for the struggle. This is a complete concoction. We had nothing to do. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know that such a group clash had taken place in the village. So the honorable judge of Valliyur Sub-Court could understand that we had nothing to do with the case at all, and she released us. And she has given a verdict of 7-year imprisonment for the group clash. As I told you, the Kudankulam struggle was a typical Gandhian non-violent struggle. We were celebrated as the longest non-violent struggle after India's independence. We were so proud of that heritage, and we still are very happy about that. So this incidence of violence had nothing to do whatsoever with the struggle.
All right. Okay. Now I'm moving on to the next question. There is Tamil-speaking Indian has a question for you, Mr. Udhayakumar. The Kudankulam project was implemented by Congress government in alliance with DMK, and yet you are supporting the Congress as well as the DMK now. So, what is your ideology behind your politics?
Sandhya, I don't support either Congress or DMK. If I had supported, I would have joined their political party. They would have welcomed me. But I haven't done that. I have formed my own Green Party, and we are doing some small activities at a very small scale. And I supported Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra because this is the only hope that I find right now in this country that can stand up to these fascist forces. I am deeply worried about the future of India. And the fascists are dividing the civil society of this country. They have very ulterior motives for gaining power one more time and turning the country into a Hindu Rashtra and all that nonsense. So I support Bharat Jodo Yatra. I support Rahul Gandhi, not the Congress party. I believe that Rahul Gandhi is a young man who has a vision, who stands up for love and humanity rather than hatred and violence. So I support him. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK government has been very supportive of such alternatives. But when there are accusations of corruption charges against them, I do criticize them. I'm not a member of either DMK or Congress. I will
But
never join these parties.
how do you de-link Rahul Gandhi from the Congress party? Isn't that a little illogical?
I met with Rahul Gandhi a couple of months ago in Delhi in one of the meetings, and he himself said that he had problems with his party. He himself acknowledged openly, publicly, that he had problems with the Congress party because there are a lot of old guards in the party who are still used to their old guard ways of doing things. So this young man, in my view, is very idealistic, and he wants to take the country in the right direction. So I support him.
Okay, but I mean, the Congress party has been in power for so long, right?
That's
What
true.
is going to change?
That's true. And most of the problems that we are dealing with right now were initiated by them, by people like P. Chidambaram, all the old guards, they were less imaginative. They were anti-people. They engaged in massive corruption. So every little damage that we are facing with today was started by them. Everybody knows that. We openly acknowledge that. But the political agenda of BJP seems to be a lot more dangerous and destructive than the Congress agenda. If you are given a choice to choose between a dacoit or a murderer, who would you choose? I would rather, choose the dacoit rather than the murderer.
That's a very simplistic way of looking at it. But anyway, I get what you're trying to put. But okay, let's come back to your views on UCC, since you brought this up, since you said the BJP is fascist and the Congress is not. What is your problem with the UCC? I'm not able to understand. Can you just explain it?
The Uniform Civil Code debate started not just last year.
Correct.
From the independence days, they have been talking about it. Ram Rajya Parishad, Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha, then Bharatiya Jansangh, and all the political parties have talked about it. It was discussed in the Constituent Assembly. Dr. Ambedkar was in favor of that. Jawaharlal Nehru was in favor of that. And then later Rajiv Gandhi himself was in favor of that. He openly admitted that he would try to implement UCC and would make it a matter of choice for the citizens. So the debate has been going on for a long time. Now, who is proposing this plan? Why are they proposing are the two important questions. The BJP government does not have anything to show the people and ask for their support. They haven't accomplished anything. They have rather damaged this country a lot. So now they want to, let me complete this. They want to win the next election. They want to win the next election by hook or crook. When you have nothing to show as your accomplishment, what would you say? Try to divide the civil society vertically and try to whip up high emotions, hatred, fear, anger, and then try to win over the votes of one particular group. That is what their plan. And that is the reason I oppose UCC. BJP has no moral legitimacy to support UCC. They have ulterior motives. They are not trying to bring justice for women. They are not trying to bring unity among the people. They want to divide the country. It's dangerous situation now, Sandhya, when the country is so deeply in turmoil. When you add more fuel to the fire by introducing this UCC bill now, the whole country will burn. Look at how they are dealing with the Manipur issue. It's a small district in Tamil Nadu. They are not able to handle it. The Prime Minister has never visited. The Home Minister went there just once. So we cannot let the whole country burn like that. That's why.
Okay. It's not going to burn. That is a different thing. But my question
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you are a central minister and you are assuring. You are speaking like a BJP person, Sandhya. Speak as a journalist. Speak as a journalist. Speak as a journalist. Try to have some midpoint. How can you assure me? How can you assure me that it's not going to burn? Are you a BJP person? Are you a cabinet minister?
How can you assure me that the country is going to
How can you assure me that? I mean, I don't understand. I do think you have a clear Hindutva political agenda.
No. You can think whatever you want. It doesn't make a little bit of difference to my life. But I will tell you very clearly, whatever you are saying has absolutely no basis. Okay, it is a narrative you are pushing to me. Fine, I accept that. I understand that you are pushing a narrative. You are a politician. You run a political party. Fair enough. Accept it. Now, I am asking you. This is the same kind of rhetoric, the same narrative that was, this fear mongering by the opposition that took place during CAA and NRC. What happened after that? Did anything happen? Did all the Muslims of India get thrown out of India?
After the Citizenship Amendment Act, you mean?
The Congress, all of you people were talking about, no? After CA and RC. What happened? Nothing happened. It was you people who were doing the fear mongering.
I am so shocked to hear this from you, Sandhya. It hasn't been implemented yet. It has been implemented yet. Do you know that? It has not been implemented, my dear. It is only in paper. It is only in paper. They haven't even formed the rules yet. It is put in abeyance. It's not implemented.
But
I'm so sorry you speak with such ignorance. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. This is very.
It's not implemented. It's not implemented.
Absolutely wrong. Okay.
So how am I wrong? Tell me how am I? When was it implemented? When was it implemented? Give me the date. Give me the date when it was implemented. It's not implemented yet.
What did the opposition say? If the act is passed, Muslims of India will be in danger. Correct? Act is passed.
I think we are not communicating, Sandhya. We are not communicating. The Citizenship Amendment Act has not been implemented. It's kept in abeyance. Mr. Amit Shah himself has said that it will be implemented soon. It's not been implemented yet. Let's go to the next question.
All right, we'll go to the next question as you wish. Okay, what is the next question? One moment. I'm pulling that up. Okay. So one question that one of the girls has asked is, the Catholic Church as well as the other branches of the Christian Church, they you would agree that they are a very powerful force in India, correct? They have a lot of following. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of
institutions,
land.
hospitals, schools, colleges.
All of it.
Right.
Okay. So the viewer who sent me this question wants me to ask you: do you approve of a religious organization guided from outside India, which is the Vatican, having such a strong voice in the internal affairs of India?
I really cannot answer that question because I am neither a Catholic nor a Christian, and I have nothing to do with the Catholic Church. I don't go to masses. I don't know what the priests are preaching or anything like that. So I really don't know how to answer this question. I am for the integrity and the sovereignty of India. Obviously, not only the Catholic Church or any casteist organization like Overseas Friends of BJP or the Overseas Friends of BJP is very strong in the United States and Europe. Hindu HSS, Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh is there. Vishwa Hindu Parishad is a very global organization. They are sending a lot of money from Europe and the United States to the fringe elements here in India. I am opposing that as well.
Okay. Now, all right. Okay, there is one viewer called Bari Pokan who has sent like 9 questions. So can I just do a rapid fire so that you can answer all of his questions?
Sure.
Okay, first one he's asking, when did you convert to Christian and why? Of course, now you've already answered that. You said you're not a Christian. So
right. I'm not anything. I'm not anything. Neither Hindu nor Muslim or Christian. I'm a human being. That's it.
Okay. Human being. All right. Second one. Why were you instrumental in arranging the Kudangulam protest?
Well, I am living very close to Kudangulam, as you know. Sandhya, you have come here several times. And 3 of my grandparents died of cancer. And I saw them suffer and die a very painful death. The family did not have funds to take them to sophisticated hospitals for higher treatment. And I saw how my own grandparents suffered from cancer. I started reading about cancer. I started reading about radiation, nuclear power plant, nuclear bombs, and that's how I took a stand on the issue and started talking to the people. People accepted what I said, and that's how we managed to pull the people together.
All right. Third question: which are the churches you are associated with?
I am not associated with any church, any temple, any mosque, any gurdwara, any of that damn institution.
All right, fair enough. Okay. So, his fourth question: what would be your idealistic theme of India?
I want India where all the basic needs of all the people are met. I want India to be completely 100% democratic, equal, where women are respected and treated fairly and squarely, where there is no caste discrimination, there is no Hindu, Muslim, Christian communalism, where people can live that big dream of India as equal and equal citizens of this country.
All right. Number 5: why are you attacking Hinduism if you're not a practicing Hindu?
I'm not attack. When did I attack Hinduism?
Well, he feels you
I
have.
I never attack any religion. I don't believe in these religions. I don't go to temples. I don't go to any of these religious institutions for prayer. If they organize some meetings in a temple or mosque or gurdwara somewhere, I do go. But I do not. I respect all the different religions, although I feel secretly sorry for their superstitious beliefs.
Fair enough. All right. So, next question: why did you agree to take money from the channel for arranging protests? I think this was explained already earlier that it was actually not exactly the case, but I will let you quickly explain it. I think this is
I
about
will repeat.
Republic.
I will repeat one more time. I personally have not received even 1 rupee from any Indian or foreign NGO or from individual organization for organizing the protest against the Kudangalam nuclear power plant. If I had, the Congress government or the BJP government would have dug up all those facts and prosecuted me and put me in prison on a very long-term basis. They themselves could not find anything, and that is true. I am not a prostitute. I am not selling my intellect and emotions for any particular agency or anything. I am fighting for my children and grandchildren. I don't want them to die a miserable death from these so-called development projects. That's the only agenda I have. I have no other financial or political or economic or any other agenda in my struggle.
All right. I think that's basically answers most of Varipokan's questions. One more question that one Sriram has asked is, will you? Sorry. Okay. Will you be asking? He's asking me. Will you be asking about Mr. Udhayakumar becoming a person declared as proclaimed offender who was absconding after charges of receiving money from various NGOs and trusts who were directed to hand over money on behalf of certain foreign interested persons?
I have answered that question, I think.
Okay. Okay. Now, another question from Hagrid. You were very vocal and busy during the earlier regime. I'm guessing he's talking about the Congress regime. Why have you been silent for the last 2 years?
I haven't been silent at all. We have been organizing protests all over the state, and ever since the Kudangalam, the Idindakarai struggle has been put down by the high-handed behavior of the Congress government in the center and the ADMK government in Tamil Nadu. They have foisted like almost 340 cases. So most of the youth of our area are not able to take a passport or apply for foreign jobs, and they don't get police NOC, no objection certificate, when they apply for a job within India. So all the youth are so disheartened, and the people who were participating in the struggle are completely frustrated that there is absolutely no democracy in this country. Ordinary people, fisher people, farmers and weavers and Dalits and housewives took a stand on an issue that affects their livelihood and their future, their progeny and all, they take up a stand and they fight against this project in a non-violent manner. But the government comes up with all kinds of wild accusations that they are foreign agents, they are getting foreign money, as if they have no brain of their own. They could not understand anything. They could not take a stand on development. So, and they were forced to go through all these nonsensical cases, harassment, and all that. So what would you think that people do? People get frustrated. People lose faith in this very political structure, this administrative mechanism. So they fall silent. And I tell you, Sandhya, I promise that this struggle is not dead. This protest is not dead. It will come up again. And I tell you that it will come up again just like any other livelihood-oriented struggle. When the basic interests, security, safety, and the natural resources of the people are put under in danger, the people are not going to fight, forget about it, and they will always fight against it whenever an occasion arises.
Okay, you said that I agree with you in the sense that they're not the fishermen of Idanigarai and Kunagulam are not they're not babies. It's not like they cut off from the rest of the world and they don't know anything. Of course, they know they do have access to all the information that you or I have access to, right? But the church also does play a very, very influential role in their lives and in their societies, in their livelihoods, everything. It's a part of their social fabric. Now, is it not incumbent upon the church, which wields so much power over a community, is it not the duty and the responsibility of the people who lead the church, the religious congregation, is it not their duty and responsibility to also tell people, the protesters, the fishermen who protested, that there are consequences to such protests? And whether you like it or not, you may not like it. I agree. If I were in a protest and my passport is impounded, I'm not able to go abroad to study, I would be very, very frustrated. But should it not be known to me in advance so that I take the decision whether I want to participate in that protest or not? Instead of feeding me with a very sort of romantic notion about the protest and the cause, etc., etc. This is the reality. And this is the reality, but not just in India, sir. This is the reality in the US, in many of the Western countries. The reality is even worse in any of your Gulf countries or in the African countries.
Sandhya, that's a very undemocratic, apolitical statement, I think, because as human beings, we have to stand up when our rights and duties are in danger, when my rights are violated. So in that case, no woman should stand up and fight for her rights, right? Then all the Manipuri tribals should be keeping quiet. And all the people...
You, sir, are an expert at taking a few words and making a big collage out of it. But let us stick to exactly what I have said and let us not build a narrative.
No, Sandhya. So do you want the church to tell the people, look, your passport will be impounded, you will get police cases, so don't fight against anything, just pray to God and keep quiet? Is that what they have to say?
Not at all. Then should the youth be informed?
Sandhya. If people engage in violence and wanton violence and unruly behavior, then the church would say, look, as human beings, you have a set of duties and responsibilities and rights. Stand up for those rights, but don't engage in violence. That's exactly what the church did. The church never supported any violent behavior or anything. And as protesters, myself, Pushparayan or Maipa and others never advocated violence, not even once. So it is a failure of the government, Sandhya. It is a failure of the Indian government. When you would not accept the peaceful demonstration or demands of a people, then who are your government is for? Who is your government for? Adanis and Ambanis and Anil Agarwals only, not for us? Aren't we the tax-paying citizens of this country? Aren't we the proud Indians? And don't we have the dream to set up the country that we wish, we like, we dream? It's a failure on the part of the political class. That's what I think.
Okay.
If they had respected, if they had engaged in dialogue, okay, let's have a dialogue, and we understand.
Dialogue that happens. Come on, you can't say
yes. But that was an one-sided thing. They came up with we came up with the 50 questions, and the question they asked in return. Some Americans dictated those questions to us as if we had no knowledge of our own. We came up with 50 questions, very simple, commonsensical questions, Sandhya. It was not very highly technical, scientific questions. To tell you the truth, Pushparayan, myself, and a couple of other friends sat around the father's bungalow you have been to. We sat around and came up with those first 50 questions. But the accusation was we received those questions from somewhere else. So the belief in the among the political elites is that people of this country are all complete idiots. They cannot think on their own. They cannot take a stand on any issue. Carbohydrate, hydrocarbon struggle, sterilite struggle, take any struggle, the anti-CIA struggle. The immediate accusation is foreign money, foreign agent, foreign stooge. Indians have no brain of their own.
Well, it is also true that in a lot of the cases, the large-scale protests, there has been a lot of foreign money that has come in.
What is the government doing? How can the money come without the knowledge of the government? Then this government is useless. If a group of people, can get foreign money and organize a protest, what the hell is the Home Ministry doing? What are the other departments doing? Are we more important, more powerful, more connected than the government, the established government of this country? What a nonsensical accusation is that? Show us the proof. Show the proof that Sterlite protest was funded by the Chinese. Hydrocarbon struggle was funded by the Pakistanis. Now, what is the Reserve Bank doing? What is the Home Ministry doing? What is the central government doing? What is the state government doing? This is completely irresponsible, Sandhya, to blame the victims.
Okay. All right. My final question to you, and this is a bunch of people have asked me to ask you this. Germany had decommissioned its nuclear plants, and then they became dependent on Russian gas. And Japan has restarted 10 of their nuclear plants in order to ensure energy security. And a lot of research and studies have shown that nuclear energy is safe. So what do you have to say in response to all of this information?
Well, Sandhya, nuclear energy is not the safest energy. We all know that. And we are dealing with the Fukushima accident as we are talking now. They are trying to dump the nuclear contaminated water into the sea, and the Koreans are all up in arms against that. So nuclear energy is not the safest energy. It leaves a very highly dangerous waste that you have to protect for 48,000 years. Carbon dioxide may not be emitted, that is true, but it also creates all this dangerous waste. And what moral legitimacy do we have to dump all this waste on the thousands of successive generations? So it's not the safest energy, one. Two, yes, Germany has shut down all the nuclear power plants. I've been to a nuclear waste disposal site in Germany. I have gone inside the disposal site. I saw with my own eyes the struggle that they were going through. The barrels were, it was a few years ago. They had taken a group of activists to the Asse mountain in Gorliben area in Germany, and we were taken inside some 300-400 meters down inside a cave where they have kept high-level waste of all the nuclear power plants there, and the steel box that they were using for that was rusting, and they were having all kinds of problems. This is in Germany. Now, Germany is, of course. Pardon me?
Who organized this? How did you gain access to that?
It's some anti-nuclear group in Germany, and unlike in India, you can protest, you can organize protests right in front of the ministries, right in front of the organizations there, and they're all very democratic. They allow you, they give you access, they have nothing to hide. Only in India, they have specific islands of a democracy. In Chennai, it's a hidden area by the Kuam River. This is we call it the largest democracy, but you can organize a protest only in some islands, isolated, unknown islands. So anyway, Germany also gets sunlight only 150 days of the year. but they are making a viable business out of solar power. Now, India, if we think like a leader, if we give up this colonized mindset about development, about energy security and all that, we can fulfill our energy needs. We have 7,500 kilometer long coastline. We can use that and produce tidal electricity. We have wind-rich areas all over the country. We can make a viable business out of wind power. You yourself have seen thousands of windmills in our area. And solar power, we get sunlight all 365 days of the year. Even in the midst of heavy monsoon, we get sunlight at least for a few hours every day. So we can make a viable business out of all this, Sandhya. But it is a corporatization, this crony capitalism, these ruling elites who are in support of all this rich capitalist class do not want any such alternatives. Problem here is not energy self-sufficiency. The problem here is the crony capitalism that these elites are following.
Crony capitalism concerning nuclear energy, I don't understand. It's used between two governments, the agreements. And the government builds it, the government uses the energy for itself. Where is the capitalism?
No, all the thermal power plants in this country are owned by big corporates. All the energy projects in this country are owned by big corporates. As you said, Germany is getting oil from Russia. Oil companies are controlled by big corporates, big companies, big large corporates. The whole energy sector is dominated by huge corporates and their conglomerates. It's not people like you and me who produce electricity and produce energy and sell it to the common grid. It's a big business. And that is the reason, even in India, people go for 40, even in India, people go for 40,000 crores nuclear power plant rather than 2 crore windmills. You cannot steal much. The intermediaries, the corporates and corrupt bureaucrats cannot steal much from 2 crore, 3 crore project, but they can get a huge chunk from a 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 crore project. It's business. It's not energy.
Okay, so you're saying it's about corruption.
A lot of corruption is involved in this energy business.
All right. So that brings us to the end of all our viewer questions. So thank you, Mr. Udhayakumar, for being a sport and taking difficult questions. I've always known you to be a good sport. Of course, you've called me names this time, but that's okay. I will be a sport.
I'm sorry about that. But you spoke like a spokesperson. You spoke like a spokesperson of the BJP government. You should be.
That, sir, depends on the lens through which you view it. So we will leave it.
No, you cannot take sides.
Not at all. I'm not taking any sides. I'm asking questions.
I have great admiration and respect for you. I have known you for several years now.
Yes, likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandhya.
As always. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank all the people who asked me questions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.